Think about this. What are Republicans for? What are they for? Name me one thing they're for.
We stand for a lot. And maybe if he opened up some of the windows to the White House today, he would see exactly what they stand for. Protecting the life of the unborn. What is the mood like? Because we know there's this major case, the Dobbs case. There's a lot of positive vibes around that the Supreme Court may do. And so for this 49th March for Life, was it a different kind of mood this year?
It is freezing cold out here, but it is like being at a college football game. There is so much energy and enthusiasm in the crowd. It is really remarkable. I've been in, I don't know how many March for Life events, but it is a different kind of electricity this year where we have so much anticipation that we're going to finally be in a post-Roe America in the months ahead.
We've been marching for years. We used to host the kids from Kansas who would come in for hot chocolate after the cold march on the Capitol. It was such a lovely thing to see the next generation of pro-life Americans coming to Washington. We'll need to keep it up. The left and the progressives will continue to attack no matter what the Supreme Court does. But I am hopeful that the Supreme Court will bestow a real blessing on these unborn children and that America will be a place that has more respect for human life.
There is more optimism this year than ever before. I think there is a lot of hope among the marchers that this will be the last year where Roe is the controlling law of the land. But Jordan, I would maybe just even point to some evidence on the other side. I think there's actually panic on the pro-abortion side because of that same fact. I think they know that their fight is going to have to shift to the state level as well, and they're going to have to fend off attacks against their agenda on the state level. And here's why they're afraid, Jordan. When you go down to the local level and it's closer to the people, life wins very consistently.
There's also a major case out of the Supreme Court. Again, it's a kind of procedural issue, but important one, and that is the abortion activists have tried to, again, take down the Texas law, that unique law, 6-week abortion ban, which is enforced not by the state, but by civil actions. And the court denied the abortion industry's request to move it back to a district court, which was hostile to the law, and instead keep it at the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is awaiting a decision from the Texas Supreme Court.
The fact that this Texas law has been able to stay in place the whole time this court battle has been going on is amazing. And like Than said, fighting it in a state court brings it to a totally different level. When we get rid of the fallacy that there is a constitutional protection for abortion, that changes the game, I think, entirely.
My wife always jokes that I never smile and I'm always talking about difficult things. It's true. The world's a pretty challenging place. This one brings me joy. We are on the cusp of a historic change which will provide deep protections for human life and for the dignity of every human being. I feel joy. I am waiting for this decision. And Jordan, your point's right. This won't be our last march.
It is signaling that shift, that these are going to be battles that the federal government is going to get out of. And let me tell you, folks, that is what we've been fighting the entire time. I mean, CeCe, the entire time has been a state passes something, it's immediately federal court, all the way up to the, usually oftentimes the Supreme Court. And it was a very difficult road. They never had a chance to implement their laws. Now they're getting a chance to do that.
You know what the tactic's going to be? The tactic's going to be to return it to the states and try to argue that there is a state right to abortion under the state constitution. That is what they're going to try. We shouldn't be naive here and thinking they're just going to stop. They're not.
But they're going to find the same thing in the state constitutions. I mean, Justice Sotomayor, again, she's so virulently in favor of this. She makes the statement in her dissent, quote, "I will not stand by silently as a state continues to nullify this constitutional guarantee." Where would you, Justice Sotomayor, please show me where in the federal constitution it says that? And then we're going to be arguing, as Jay said, where in the state constitution does it say that? I know right now, sitting here today, of no state that has a constitutional right to an abortion.
This is going to be a pitched battle in the states. I mean, big time.
No question about it. The Planned Parenthood and the other abortion forces, Jay, they're going to be out in force. They have been mainly in Washington, D.C. over the last few decades. They're pivoting even now as we are. They're going to engage this fight just like we will.
They're going to argue anything that they can. I mean, we see them fight when a law goes in place just to have a sterile operating conditions for an abortion. They fight that.
That means that being involved both in the legislative process and in the litigation process is critical here. You've done both. but it's going to be critical.
Yeah, we do get contacted all the time by state legislators wanting to draft appropriate legislation and make sure that it is all, legally correct. And so we assist with that, but we also assist when it is challenged in the court to hold up the law and protect the life of the unborn.
The desperation has set in so much, Jordan, that they are trying sort of a last-ditch federal effort, which would actually codify Roe and would eliminate all state restrictions, both current and future. So even while much of the fight shifts to the states, Jordan, we're going to have to stay focused on the federal level on that effort as well.
The 49th anniversary of the Right to Life March could be the year in which the Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade. So I think you're seeing a lot of dynamics at play with these orders. That's why you got to pay attention to this. These orders are significant because of what they're kind of reading the tea leaves here.